Scott Mitchell here with It's My Game speaker highlights. Remember that It's My Game Kids Tennis Conference, August 14th to the 23rd. It's a global virtual conference like never before. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can stay right there. It's over 9 days, over 20 speakers, and about 40 hours worth of content from amazing speakers from around the world. Today, I'm talking with Judy Murray with the Judy Murray Foundation. Judy, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you do and what the foundation has done. I know you've got great success with raising your boys, and they're great success on the tour. So you've done a lot with the foundation, but you've also done some with education and your programs like the Scottish Development School program that you've implemented. I think through that program you've had, what, 4 Davis Cup players, maybe a Fed Cup player or more, and then obviously your son. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the foundation is the most recent thing that I've done, and that was all about creating opportunities for many more people to try tennis in remote and disadvantaged areas of Scotland. So very much about opening tennis up. I've always hated the kind of elitist tag that it's had, certainly in my country. So this is taking it into places that where it currently doesn't exist. And what we do is we build workforces within the local community. So we train local people. So whether that's teachers, parents, sports coaches, youth leaders, students, how to deliver fun starter competitions and coaching in whatever space they have available. So for me, it's all about making tennis doable, stimulating, fun and accessible to many more people. Foundation's been in operation for about 3 years, but I've been running a similar kind of program for 4 years before that. So well versed in that side of things now, and thoroughly enjoy it. Going back to the National Development Schools is going back a very long way. That was way back 1995 when I started as the national coach in Scotland. Started against a backdrop of nothing, no infrastructure, 4 indoor courts for the whole country. So very much a minority sport in my country, and with a country that has terrible weather. So 4 indoor courts in one venue for the whole is not great, and no world-class coaches and no world-class players, obviously. However, we started with 20 kids aged between 7 and 11, and we brought them together on the weekends initially, because some of them came from 3-4 miles away from where the one indoor centre was. And we created very much a cottage industry. We grew coaches, we involved all of the parents, everybody had to help out because it was very limited budget. I didn't have any staff, and facilities were very limited. So we, it kind of leads me to everything that I believe in, that you make it fun, you create an environment, you get everybody working together, and it's not about what you have, it's what you do with what you have. But I think one of the big things that I learned from that period as national coach, and when I started as a volunteer in my local club 5 or 6 years before that, it's all about investing in people. It's all about having, I think people make things happen. You get the right people around, like-minded people who all want to be part of the same thing. You can make great things happen. It's very tough to do it just by yourself, and many coaches in the country work in isolation. And I said, get the parents in. Nobody wants things to happen more for their kids than the parents. Yep. So that was, that was how we started out. We didn't start out with the intention of raising Grand Slam champions and Davis Cup and Fed Cup. We were just going one step at a time. What do the best under 12s look like, then under 14s, then under 16s? And we learned as we went along, because there was no track record and nobody to learn from. Huge believer in investing in the skills before you get to the drills.
That's a very good point. So tell us a little bit. I know you've got several different things going on and some different initiatives. Tell us a little bit about your projects with Miss Hits and She Rallies.
Yeah, those are female programs. They're very much about getting more girls and women involved in tennis. So whether that is playing it or whether that's helping to deliver it. And by delivering it, I don't just mean teaching it. I actually mean running competitions, running fun days, helping out at the club, so that we have plenty of women around who were once girls, who understand how to create environments in which girls can thrive. So I think I started Miss Hits, which is a fun starter program for girls aged 5 to 8 when I was doing Fed Cup, and I realized that our biggest challenge to cracking our very small numbers at the top level actually all the problems started right down at the entry point. 4 times as many boys coming into our sport as girls. And
Wow.
when I looked at our offering was, I realized, well, no wonder it's not stimulating, and we are, it's not girl friendly enough. It's a difficult sport. There's mixed groups that doesn't often work for little girls aged 5 to 8. They're better being with their friends. So, I created around all the skill building activities an environment that was specific to girls. So music, dance, cuddly toys, cartoon characters, and fun, colourful moving equipment to make our sport doable. Because if they can do it, they get more fun, more enjoyment, they build confidence through the success, and you're far more likely to hang on to them. You're also far more likely to hang on to them if they are in it with a group of friends, and that hence the all-girl group. And She Rallies is a female workforce build across the UK, which I created for the LTA. And we're probably around 20% of our tennis coaching workforce in Great Britain is female, and we needed that to be a lot higher. So it's an ambassador type program. We have started with 26. We now have 52 very part-time ambassadors, and it's all about empowering them to grow their businesses by growing themselves and adopting other women within their backyard and training them up to be part of their kind of female army.
It's very important, and I can see it's probably a very time consuming, but you're doing great work over there, and we're really excited about your presentation that you're going to do for us during the conference. Can you give us a little insight without giving us all the details, because we want people to register, but a little insight on your presentation?
Yeah, it's all about making tennis fun and making it doable. We realize that we've got a complex coordination sport. It's difficult. Kids nowadays are coming into sport with less good physical skills than they ever had before because of spending a lot of time looking at screens and not getting out and playing actively in a kind of natural way, programmed into activities from a young age and so forth. So, coming in without the physical skills, we're having to teach the physical skills first before we can get them to our sport, and understanding that kids are less resilient now than perhaps they ever were. So if they can't do something, they will get fed up and leave and do something else. So, it's all about building the skills and breaking down the skills that you need to be able to play tennis into manageable, progressive steps via a series of games and exercises. So I am going to share some of that, and I think if you watch either of my kids or both of my kids playing tennis, Andy and Jamie, they play tennis very differently from each other. One size never fits all, and how they end up playing depends on their personality and their physicality, and probably a lot who they admired when they were growing up. But what they both have is great hand-eye and foot-eye coordination skills, which are, of course, the skills that underpin all sports, and that has been a major factor in the options that they have on the court. They are 3 things: cause trouble, avoid trouble, get out of trouble. You have to be able to do all of those 3 things, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my presentation.
Great. That's great information. We're so excited, and we're glad that you've been a part of this conference. For those coaches that are looking to register, conference.evolve9.com. You can go there and register. You can see all the speakers that are going to be a part of it. You can take a look at their presentations. Judy Murray, thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Yep. See you then.